Da-na-na, 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 da, da-na-na, 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 da, da-na, da, 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 da. So, I don't know if anybody's awake. So, I was actually looking around at some YouTube stuff, and I did receive a beautiful Bible in the mail. So, from Prudently, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Um, I'll also tell her in person, but I'm horrible at returning messages, but I'm really good at talking on live streams, it seems. Well, whatever it is. I don't know if you'd say really good, but whatever. But I was, listening to two of them, and one of them I actually shared on my community page. It was Nitty's live stream. The reason why I shared it is because I believe it's around 57 minutes and 20 seconds. I put the timestamp on well, not really a timestamp because it's not highlighted, but tells you where to go. And the link. It could be a shooting star, I guess. It could be, but I don't know, I guess it could be, but there was something weird that went across the sky like I just said they went into more. It kind of looks like a firework or something, but I don't know. It's funny when I go live during the day, my lives fill up and I'll be all overwhelmed and stuff. Like everybody's talking about different things and shit. And I won't be like, I don't know. But I did want to say something. I should have actually gone on my computer and went through and made sure nobody was blocked or anything. But there's one person that if they still have my number, they can reach out to me through, text message or whatever, or email, Gmail. Because the reason why I'm mentioning it is it was actually Jules, and she had come in here, and I'm just curious because I remember that there was a lot of talk about she was, protecting somebody, and maybe truly she is just, new to YouTube and it doesn't, didn't, you know, was going through the same thing kind of that I was going through, and both of us were being played against each other. Because, hi, e-beggars. Oh, it's a meteor. Oh, nice. Thank you for telling me that. I did think it was really weird. Thank you so much, e-beggars. I appreciate you coming in and telling me that. You know, but I feel kind of bad, because about Jules, but there's a lot of bad, memories there and stuff. And you stay beautiful too, e-beggars. Um, but if it started when she donated and she used her name, I'm curious to know the actual truth behind what went down. Like, I don't know if maybe she had gotten confused between me and another Tracy on here that had lived in England, and also had, had cancer, and or if, but I really am curious to know if her troubles started after she donated to my GoFundMe in her name. Because that would, if she would just come out and tell the whole story behind, well, because I mean, Ollie has changed her story about that like over and over and over again. Jules does seem like she's not, like, I don't know, but like maybe she was under the gun. Um, Maybe she was confused as I was. Um, I don't know. Maybe she really believed these people, but I'm curious to know if her troubles started after she donated to my GoFundMe. If that's where they got her name from. Because that's a shame that people were doing that kind of stuff. It was humiliating to me that, you know, people are being kind and doing something out of the kindness of their heart, and then their freaking world goes turned upside down, and that's a shame that people do that kind of stuff. Um, Also, uh, I was re-listening to one of Chosen One's old videos, and first of all, TH, I do want to tell you, I do believe you're spelling that Philistine wrong, and due to DNA research and everything, there really is, like, there's not a connection to it's just really like on the same spot that they were, like the Philistines and the Palestines. It's like, but because they were kind of wiped out at some point, you know? Hi, Chosen One community. um, they kind of came in from like Greece and stuff and Latin, um, and also I was looking up not that I looked it up. I was looking at videos on a Detroit playlist of someone, who drives around neighborhoods and kind of introduces you to certain areas in Detroit and other places in Michigan. Actually, they had like an Inkster and Pontiac and Highland Park, all that, Delray, stuff like that. And yeah, Palestine and Palestinian. It's not Philistine. It's not. Yeah, yeah. I did research. Like I really was. So, and but here's the thing: is it turns out the neighborhood, the area that you reside in, that is predominantly Muslim, historically was settled by Polish immigrants. So when you were arguing about, the whole, but somebody else was there and then they inched them out. Well, they weren't. Israel has always lived, that's where he moved to. That's why it was called Israel. So the Jews have always kind of occupied that area. It was decreed to them by God. And um, as it turns out, right, but it said there are a lot of Muslim there, and that it started out originally as Polish. So, they may have squeezed somebody off their area. Now, imagine if the Polish people were always arguing, going, we want that back, we want that back. I think that basically from what I was reading, from what I was reading, over there in Palestine, there's like three different groups um that are, you know, kind of, they're Palestinian, like they're Palestinian based groups that are, causing a lot of it. And in 2002, turns out, I mean, you guys were ruthless, and and maybe now, where nobody's there, nobody is there. And from what I've heard, like we're not there to see it. And from what I've heard from people who've been to both places, they say it's not like how we picture in our minds, like thinking this, oh my God, there's, bloodshed and gunfire going off and all this stuff. Probably the same as like when I'm thinking like Detroit is probably like, you know what I mean? Like I'd have to run down the street, you know? People make it a lot, and the media makes it a lot different than what's going, there's a lot of factors into that. So I really hope that we can just both stand on the side of peace. Um, but when I was doing my research, as it turns out, in the story David and Goliath, Goliath was a Philistine. Hi, Random. And he was supposed to be 10 feet tall. And here comes David with a slingshot. He's like, I've had enough of this guy. But yeah, I mean, I sometimes wonder though, back then, if just like how they had here and probably at other places, where if a rich person got, had to go into the war, they could kind of, almost have somebody who was of lower financial status have to go in their place, you know? And I wonder if back then, a lot of the, you know, it just seems like also what I was looking at too was that there's been some, lots of flooding. And when you think about it, yeah, the what, yeah. Yeah, I know. It was 2002, and it was that I was looking at was like one of the worst years. But yeah, it just seems like there's a hello. I you know, it's a shame, basically, at the end of the day. But there's been like flooding going on, and here's this guy, and it's like it's flooding, but has it been like pouring rain in California? I mean, that's a nice change from the wildfires, but um, what it ends up doing is washing out and flooding out the homeless encampment. And so you've got the rich people up in their high rises or somewhere where there is no flooding and not living under a bridge or in this area where, a waterway, you know, and boom, instant cleanup, right? And I thought, I wonder if that is what basically was occurring. Like if you think about it, you know, if say that, in the future, where you got all these people who are going, oh, the end of times are near. Well, think about how many computer companies. Hi, Rhonda. Really, has it been raining, raining, raining? But I was thinking, like, if Like look at the when it was the what millennium or 2000, it was turning 2000, and all those companies, I bet, made a shit ton of money saying, our program is compatible for when it changes time and all this shit, and nothing happened. Like, I worked for a company, they didn't change their computers, and nothing happened. But they made a lot of money. And like I said, every generation they're saying, "Oh, the end is coming, the end is coming." There's always this threat that the end of the world is. And then somebody capitalizes on it and sells like bomb shelters, all this shit. Next, I'll be building freaking arcs and shit and telling people only the righteous can get on, but it'll cost you this and cost you that. You know what I'm saying? Just, I'm just saying it's, you know, start washing out all the homeless encampments. Oh yeah, then when you come back, all those dirty, unclean will be gone. All those foreigners to our land that doesn't speak the land. Who knows? But I do feel like God did say he would never again destroy the earth like that. Remember? So why is everybody so quick? Well, not everybody, but so quick to want to believe that all of a sudden he'll just decide to do it again? He said he never would. Right? I always thought it was weird that they said that David was from Jesse, who was from Perez, I believe the name was. And that he had red hair and a ruddy complexion. The one that fought Goliath, which is so strange to me. That, the name, first of all, Perez, like in the Bible. I mean, right, but they'd want to make money first, you know? Like somebody would capitalize on it. I feel like, I don't know, there was so many stories. Like I was thinking about that whole the serpent being there, in the Garden of Eden, and the tree of knowledge, and then when it said, and they heard God walking through the garden. I mean, that is, and then how Jesus would ride in on a donkey and then go, to, like in Jerusalem or whatever, there in Judah, Jerusalem, go and kick over all the tables at the temple, and then Judas would have to give him the kiss of death to point him out to the guards. Seems like he like rode in and then caused a scene, which they said was not like him, you know, And then all of a sudden, this guy that's not mentioned through the Bible at all, a rich Jewish person who said, "Oh, well, I followed Jesus, but in private." That would be, I believe they're called like a Moreno or a Moreno, something like that. And it's not good, actually. It's um, you know, like that's part of, I guess, what you're supposed to do is you'd rather fight for, the freedom of religion than worship in private and pretend to be something else. To everybody else, oh, there goes my stomach again. It's like it's got to get in on the conversation. That's so fucked up. I made some good corned beef and cabbage though in the crock pot. So good. So good. You guys still with me? Because I know I'm just rambling away right now. Probably not very interesting. I've been thinking about maybe like, well, last night I tried to teach myself how to share movies and stuff in, the private chats and like for members only, but couldn't figure it out. I really couldn't. But I was listening to Chosen One Community, not Chosen One Community, Chosen Ones. I've been researching so much, Rhonda. Like, I was reading about, David and, he kills Goliath. He's a Philistine. And then how Solomon didn't really like him. And so he was like, "Oh, so you're not returning to the house where you came from. You're going to stay here." And then, he had been told that he'd get to marry this particular woman, because he liked whatever. But the guy keeps him in indentured servitude for 14 years. And he keeps sending him on these tasks to freaking, you know, thinking he's not going to come back. And he sends him to get 200 Philistine foreskins. I thought that was like a weird request. Apparently, he had to slay them to get the foreskins. They wouldn't just give them up easy. And I'm like, ugh, who the heck had to count that? Like, ugh, so horrible. Like, how did that go on? I mean, did he bring like one of those guys? Is it a bris? No, is that what it's called? No, what's it called? The Jewish guy that performs the circumcision, which is the bris, right? But they've got a name. My cat snores. But I was listening to Tiffany Page. And here's something I was looking at too. Was that now, don't get me wrong. I like Jesse Hope. Okay. But I was looking at that interview, the one of Bobbles and Jesse, and and she's showing the text messages from so-called um Jesse. Who was Tiffany H? I don't know. Was she? Well, the text messages, okay, they were Tiffany H or Tiffany M. Oh, I hear my stomach again. Oh my god, I gotta get myself some stew. Um, I'm gonna fucking break out my Bigfoot fucking sound effects. Cover it up. um, when uh, when I was looking close at the text messages that was the proof, right? Oh my god, hear my stomach again? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to put a big old pillow in front of it so you guys can hear it muffle it. I'm telling you, it's every time I'm live. It hasn't done it all night. It's like my cat had a talk with my stomach and was like, okay, you're gonna have to get in on this annoying her thing because this bitch likes to live stream and we've had just about enough of her. But um first of all, yeah, that's my stomach. I gotta eat something. I made wicked good fucking, oh my god, it's so good. The corned beef and cabbage, the broth is delicious. But my stomach done. I wonder if I can break out the sad Bigfoot sound. Aww. It's every time now too. If I'm telling you, if I had to hide somewhere, my stomach would probably do that, and then maybe the killer would think there was somebody like. I do have pizza. I have Stouffer's French bread pizza. Hmm. Um. But anyway, the text messages. There's no way those text messages were I know, right? She was looking to the killer. Like I automatically go to the killer. Um, there's no way I don't think those text messages were valid because you know what I couldn't find though was the white pizza French bread Stouffer's. Those are my favorite, and I couldn't find them in the white. Oh, you know what else I have is some garlic hummus. Mmm, that could eat that, but then I'd be crunching away on here. That would be no god. Can't please them all. I'm not making my own fucking French bread pizza. I don't have French bread. What am I just whip it up? Call myself Pierre while I'm doing it. First, you need the dough, dough. Put the chicken in the basket. One time, I did talk like what's her name? Oh my god, who was the cook? Meryl Streep played her. Chip chop. Chip chop. What's chip chop? Hear my cat? Fucking snoring over there. Oh my god. Next thing, Tucker's probably gonna fucking jump on top of my head and claw my eyes out. I think he's thinking about it right now. Um, that chip shop, chip shop, chip shop. Maybe I'll eat a frozen one and call it a pizzicle, a pizzicle. Did you hear that? That's my cat. Isn't that crazy? Oh, ham. You want me to eat ham, do you, random? Go against my kosher diet? I like bacon. Um, did you hear about the girl? Hi, Janine. Hi, no. Was it a little girl? I kind of heard about a lot of people killed everywhere. I was looking, like I said, I was reading the news and I was like, oh my God, I just can't even take it anymore. Like back in, was it 2017? $9 trillion went missing from the freaking Federal Reserve. Oh my God, that's horrible. I eat bacon, but let me just tell you, a lot of serial killers have fed their victims to the pigs, which really disturbs me. But still, I can't deny bacon. Now, I'm gonna console myself with the fact that way back when in the Bible, they could not have refrigeration. And I mean, where did pigs even come from? Oh, yes, I saw that. That was a long time ago. That was a while ago. She was like in her teens, right? Kind of crazy, isn't it? Like, you know, I mean, now these people, like, they just go, I know, there's a load of, I mean, yeah, there's one in Canada, and there was this lady, and then she was all mad, like in court. She goes, well, I wanna donate my pigs to the homeless center. She'd been feeding people to her pigs, at least three of them. Ed Gein was a killer. He killed two people, but I don't think he fed them. Did he feed them to his pigs? I don't think so. Did he have pigs? He might have been feeding their like innards, but the because he killed the lady from the hardware store and then some other lady. But the lady from the hardware store he shot and brought her home and was skinning her like a deer. Not a serious. Well, I mean, they don't really know. I mean, still, he was grave robbing is pretty bad. Oh, okay. Well, they don't really know. I mean, how many somebody's killed. That like they were, if it wasn't such a small town and they're buried in the same cemetery too. I mean, I think at the very beginning, if your kid is killing animals like pets and stuff, which I do believe he was. Um, oh, okay. Well, that was in the movie. Yeah, I think they right, but he was skinning the lady from the hardware store. He shot her in the head. It was like opening day of deer hunting season, so a lot of the people in town weren't there, and he had her strung up, and no. Well, I did hear he could carve quite the totem pole out of a log with a chainsaw. He was quite the artiste. Just kidding. I am listening. Only I would say something stupid. But I mean, um, yes, okay. Those were the two. What was it I was watching today? Oh, I'll tell you what I was watching. No, it wasn't because yes, that was in Canada. No, that was in Canada. That guy, he was killing a lot of people on a pig farm and probably selling it as bacon. Yep, that was in Canada. I was actually watching what was that? The Carter House, or was that what it's called? With Aaron Carter, Nick Carter, um, them, you know. Right, exactly, yeah. Because he was they deemed him insane, which yeah. But um man, I really feel bad for that family. Yeah. Man, especially the one named Leslie. Oh my God. She died when she was 25. Nick, I think, was an asshole. I'm sorry, but I really do think, him. I mean, come on. The fucking dude, he didn't even go to, I mean, and the father came to visit and he was all weird and creepy like. I mean, well, he did dig up bodies. I mean, that was kind of killing people's hearts. It was almost like killing somebody a second time. Like, like they died and then he's fucking tearing them apart and shit, making fucking bones. I mean, skulls, bowls. Sorry. Really. Um, what was a real small town? Uh, yeah, I mean, oh my God, the mother. the father of Aaron. I mean, uh, I can't. I mean, I really felt so bad for these kids. It was like, even before, the one there was famous, Nick. Well, we don't know, but yeah. Well, yeah, his brother was like moved away, right? I mean, he could have killed other people. I mean, there's no proof of it, but we don't need to get like, yeah, he was a killer. Let's just say he was a killer. He might have hated cereal enough to kill it. I was just kidding. Um, but the the what you call it there, the sister Leslie there, God, she just looked so sad. Yeah, they were. And the older one, BJ or whatever, said, she basically, I don't know if she was older than Nick or the second oldest, but she even was like when, she was going to school, she would the other two, Nick and Aaron, they didn't go to high school on YouTube. Yeah, but they were already neglectful, like, cause um I mean, I'm just like in shock that this poor girl, that Leslie, you could tell, man, this girl was, man, isn't that sad? But he was always getting bullied and stuff on online, you know? I don't think that, I mean, real nice that uh Nick, I mean, I'm just saying, like, even in that show, no, 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 I just watched it the other night. It was only the two people. It was only the two people, but they don't know. I mean, he could have killed other people. They just don't know. He wasn't on their radar, it was a small town. He could have been like out there, finding people broken down on the side of a deserted road and shit. Who knows? You know? Well, he was bullied online because he went, but that on that show at one point, I mean, he was a lot smaller than Nick, and um, at one point, Nick is like in his face and I guess spitting at him, and fucking the kid's trying to get away from him and go to his room, and he pushes him into the room, slams the door shut, and you can hear like a ruckus, and the rest of them have to go in and be like, "Get off him, get out." And I mean, it just made me wonder how many times these kids were, you know. Right. Well, nobody's claiming that. We're just saying nobody knows for sure. Nobody's claiming it. But I did just watch the documentary random, and it is only those two women that they know of. I mean, that they know of. Yeah, I mean, it was apparent that this guy Nick was, you know, fucking. yelling and screaming at them all because he had anger issues too. Because according to whatever, he had gotten molested, and then Aaron was saying that the one that passed away molested him, the girl, which that kind of was, I thought was kind of fucked up. Like, I didn't see any indication of that in the show. He didn't seem uncomfortable with her. He didn't seem anything like that. So yeah, I thought it was kind of crappy that he would come out and say something like that after. And, and Nick was whining about, oh, they blamed it on me and didn't go to her funeral. No, Randall, there isn't. She was shaking, whoa, 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 snapping her fingers. She was moving round and round. That girl was shaking. I got a little nervous. She took a coat off. She looked so pretty. Oh, yeah. Little Eddie Money there. I saw him in concert, Rhonda. I saw him with 38 Special. I saw a lot of concerts. Probably over 100. I was quite the 80s chick. I saw New Kids on the Block. Can you believe it? Well, as it seems, I mean, Nick is like worth like 50 million or something, and the rest of the family was broke. I mean, how's it possible that they robbed, um, my favorite, that who, Any Money or 38 Special? The ugly one, Danny. The ugly one. I took my niece, okay? It was $100 a ticket, okay? It wasn't Donnie. Donnie looks so different in like The Sixth Sense. Shit, it's all in the fucking singing tonight, huh? My cat Tucker is a fucking prick. I mean, really a prick. You know what movie I'm watching and I still haven't like gotten through it yet? But it's funny. Pineapple Express. Is that part of the song now? These fucking animals are making all kinds of fucking noises. My dog just snorted. I'm so sick of having things to do and being, what's the word I'm trying to think of? When you put things out, oh, procrastinator. That's right. $8 off that Powerball. Don't spend it all in one place, random. If you go to Five Guys, you will be. I can't get over TH. I'm just saying because oh my God, here goes. You say yes, I say no. You say stop, I say go, go, go. Well, obviously, she says goodbye because she couldn't take no for an answer. Right? Right? She says stop, and he's like, no, go, go, go. And so she must have already said stop. And so then he starts it with, you say yes, I say no. So she probably said stop, and he said no. And then she said yes, and he said no. And then I went into the rest of it. I mean, really, Amber Heard was not the fucking criminal in that shit. It was all those fucking women out there and that ridiculous attorney that I would have fucking fined for grandstanding and her constant annoying bullshit. Really? Is he still harassing her? Is he really? No, no, no. But I mean, I watched interviews with both of them prior to them dating, when they both had just gotten famous. I looked at everything, he'd done and dated. Mm, that's, oh, they don't know. Oh, okay. No, he's a mess. Johnny Depp is a mess. I know, but did we even see a kid ever? I mean, did we ever even see a kid? I mean, the woman didn't even mention his fucking name, and she's getting fucking sued by some dickhead who's been smashing up hotel rooms for as long as we can remember, has a fucking, doctor that's not even a real doctor that already had been questionable. They're $10 foot longs? No, sir. I mean, what kind of a guy fucking. Well, first of all, even with that Viper room, his partner in there, was like saying, "I'm not getting my cut here," and so had started criminal proceedings, and 2 weeks before the trial, went missing, never found. Um, I think that picture that I used for my thumbnail of him at fucking Marilyn Manson's all fucked up in bed with that girl. I mean, who the fuck writes with their fucking bloody finger? I mean, fucking douchebag. You talked about burning her, setting her on fire, and then effing her burnt body. Laughing at you. Fucking, I would have been like, what the fuck? I yelled at him fucking one time because I went in there, they had their fucking menu up, and then when he rang it up, it was a different price. And I said, wait a minute, that's a different price. What are you ringing up a different price? And that's what's on your menu. Yeah, she really was raised like a nice girl, like in her family and stuff. She was the only kid, I think, the only daughter, and there was no sons. She can like, lasso cows and stuff. She raised on a ranch in Texas, but the only kid. And yeah, and he fucking rings up this higher price, and I'm like, dude, that's not what you have on the menu. And I said, that's false advertising. Does she have a sister? I thought she didn't have a sister, but I think the father wanted, I might have misunderstood. I think the father like wanted at least one boy but then I guess she was kind of tomboyish for him. So imagine yourself. Anyway, I was like, well, I'm not paying that. Like, fuck that shit. It's like, that's $2 more. Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's like $2 more. Oh yeah, I remember now. Didn't they have her like on the? Yes, that's right. I remember now. Um, I said, well then call your fucking manager if he's not here. Because if he didn't change those prices, yeah, now I remember. It didn't seem like she got much support from her family. Really didn't seem like it. And I'm thinking it's because he isolated her from her family. I mean, he wouldn't even let her be around his kids. And I'm sorry, but I think he had fucked with her head quite a bit. I think he had gaslighted her. I mean, the guy literally said, let's set her out to his friend there, the English guy. Um, yeah, I'm telling you, when I saw videos of her before she met him and she had just got famous, she was really humble and down to earth. Beautiful, but humble and down to earth. You know, I mean, let's remember he was around her in fucking 21 Jump Street. This motherfucker was a lot older than her and fucking with her head. Big time. Big time. And you had that fucking doctor on call. They'd come in and probably pin her and give her injections, I bet ya. Because that doctor had been investigated before. Because he wasn't even working out of an office. The motherfucker would just go to people's houses. I mean, I couldn't believe that people just breezed right over him admitting that he had a text message conversation with his friend saying, let's kill Amber years before, light her on fire, and then I'll fuck her dead body, burnt body to make sure she's dead. And that got breezed right over. Breezed right over. I mean, are you kidding? Well, then obviously that's hearsay then. Random. Yeah, look it up. He says it. Him and that guy Paul or whatever, his friend there, the English guy. And he says it. He admits to it. And that was fucking fine. Unbelievable. And not for nothing, but man, did they lie. Because, she didn't poop on the fucking pillow. She didn't poop on the pillow. Um, and I grew up at the same time like Johnny Depp was around. And I'm telling you that, yeah, I can't believe that they allowed Kate Moss. I had to wake him up. He was having a nightmare. Um, Kate Moss definitely was getting beat up by Johnny Depp. That's when she got into the fucking drugs. And it became heroin chic, they were calling her. No, I didn't say that you're making it up. I'm just saying they would have called it hearsay if they didn't allow her to say it, you know? But, um, yeah, it was always in the Inquirer. She was always, and same with Winona Ryder. I mean, fucking, and I was like so shocked when Kate Moss and they allowed that shit. I mean, I am not kidding. That girl was on the cover of the Inquirer, in my opinion, but she was. Wasn't it at their house or something? I don't know, but I saw the fucking Carter, the two girls there, the other ones, that were always fucking like harassing the one Leslie, put dog poop in her bed. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like she was just in her room doing nothing, on her computer, and they pretend something's leaking out of her car, and they fucking threw out and she fucking, they're freaking assholes, those girls. Um, uh, what not? Oh, really? Yeah, isn't that weird? So that kind of makes me think that maybe it was set up. I'm telling you, fucking, I was I mean, I was in shock when Kate Moss was saying he had never done anything to her. I mean, that is an out and out lie. An out and out lie. And as much as I tried to search for the past stories that were like all over the news, all over the paparazzi back then, there was none. There was none. They covered it all up. But he used to hit her. I mean, I'm telling you, God's honest truth. There was I mean, more than 3 times. That's why they eventually broke up because he was fucking abusive to her. That's when she started doing all the drugs too, because of him, and in my opinion, same with Winona Ryder. And she fucking started freaking out because he'd be smashing up hotel rooms and shit, all fucked up, and they're You know, like, oh my God, this guy's gonna, kill me or something. You know what I mean? And it was always his security that was around, not theirs. I wouldn't. Bottom line is though that the law knew she was lying. I wouldn't. You couldn't buy my integrity. My integrity has way too. I would never fucking stand. She's lucky that I wasn't Amber Heard's attorney. If I was Amber Heard's attorney, that fucking trial would have gone a lot different. Let me tell you. I'd have gone back through fucking microfiche to find those old inquirers. Thing is, she didn't even mention his name in the article that she had done for that magazine. She didn't say his name. But Tanya Harding can't compete in skating anymore. And it wasn't, it was her Jeff Gilhooly who went and did the crime, you know? And as it turns out, Tanya Harding was actually way more likable than fucking Nancy Kerrigan, who was a fucking asshole. Oh, swearing at the fucking Disney parade and shit. Yeah, I wasn't. Oh my God, this dog. Yeah, I think it was his mother dying. Yeah. Well, look how many people, I mean, look how many jobs she lost. Her whole career's ruined because of him. And I mean, I'm not even kidding you. His fucking partner from the Viper Room disappeared 2 weeks before. And he used to beat the shit out of Kate Moss. I'm telling you. He's been messed up on shit his whole life. And I'm not saying like, he was recording her too. But she couldn't leave. The thing is, she couldn't leave. It was always his security. She had, I don't know if you've ever been in a domestic violence relationship, but here's the thing. First of all, I'd like to know if California is a one party or two party state, because I know when I was being abused and stalked and I had them on recording saying they were going to kill me, I couldn't use it because they said, oh, no, no, turn that off or we'll have to press charges on you. Right. So my guess is anytime this woman went for help, she had nobody to turn to because he was Johnny Depp. No. And I wouldn't say that if I hadn't done extensive research into both of them prior to them being together. I researched the whole thing. The whole thing. I mean, not just them. I'm talking about the whole life. Mm. Did you see the picture I used for my thumbnail of him with Marilyn Manson? Because he was getting paid $60 million a movie, and neither one of them were making that. Who's that? Was that Disney who was doing the Pirates of the Caribbean? Yeah, right? Because it's at Disney. And, you know, Christina Randall, is that the one with the, no, 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 I know that, but I mean, people are allowed to have friends, you know? I mean, I really don't know. I just feel like, when I saw that they had covered up a lot of the Kate Moss shit and that's freaking all those women outside of the fucking courthouse, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. They shouldn't have allowed that. That was like a fucking atrocity. Like yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, she taught him. Same thing with that. There's a lot of things that are travesties of justice. I mean, um, do you know how many police have said qualified immunity doctrine and got away with shooting someone because they were in a bad mood that day? Way more than we think. All colors, all genders, all ages. I spent months researching it and still do. See, this is a misogynistic society now that just hates women. It really is. It's awful. I mean, I think the greatest miscarriage of justice is that the right word? I might have the wrong word, but is the qualified immunity doctrine. And that'll never change. No, she wasn't. He was way worse to himself. She was just a young girl in love with a big star that she probably had pictures of when she was young. And he turned out to be a shit guy who was a drug addict, and she wasn't. She didn't learn how to snort with a tampon in, the ranch in Texas. I mean, he was already well educated on where to get shit and all that stuff. You should get away from him. You don't abide by his rules. You get away with it, away from the guy. The guy's a fucking idiot. He cut his own tip of his finger off so he could write shit around somebody else's home. So he's gonna buy a box of tampons, like he can't roll up a fucking bill. I'm sure he's got millions of them. That's the silliest shit ever. He's gonna carry a tampon in his pocket because he's lacking a bill to roll up. Seriously? What I saw was a woman who couldn't afford a long trial and couldn't afford the attorneys that he could afford. That was 20 years his junior. And well, he testified that he said they were gonna kill her, burn her, and he was gonna fuck her burnt body. He testified that he cut his own finger off. Oh no, no, wait. Oh no, she cut it off by throwing a bottle, you know? No, she couldn't because her whole fucking career was ruined. If you look it up, she had like a movie lined up, and every time she had to go film, this motherfucker was harassing her leading man. I'm saying he had a lot of pull. His partner of the Viper Room went missing and was never found again 2 weeks before his trial. Before the trial. I don't know. And she couldn't afford the attorneys he could afford, and they were allowing a bunch of women out there screaming for him, but I didn't see men out there screaming for Amber. And yeah, no, no, no. Um, I don't think it would have mattered. She was being called Amber Turd. Um, well, who filmed it? I mean, I'm just saying, the guy has a history of being violent and destroying things and smashing things up when he doesn't get his way. You know? I don't know if um maybe maybe she didn't put her in ICU though. Yeah, but he said they were gonna kill her, burn her, and he was gonna fuck her dead body. He testified to that. Well, he got it back though, didn't he? I didn't know he was in Harry Potter. When was he in Harry Potter? I thought those movies were all over by then. I believe that cast has grown up. And when was he supposed to be in Harry Potter? I I don't think that happened. Yeah, but the length of the trial would have went on forever because his attorney was making it fucking annoying. And I would have expelled her from the courtroom if I was the judge. Just like I wouldn't let any um defendant, right, defend themselves. Like that Daryl Brooks guy there, right? Darren Brooks. I wouldn't have let him defend himself because there's more people that should be prosecuted in that case. You know, when you're picked up and, when you're picked up for felony bail jumping on the 4th, then you pay $1,000 bail to get out on the 19th. And then days later, 6 people are dead. Um, First of all, they didn't feel that he was a flight risk. Well, do you know how many times people have really killed people that are saying they're going to kill them? And people go to the police and say, this person's saying they want to kill me. And they go, oh, well, that's not illegal. And if you record them saying it, they want to arrest you for recording them for saying it. But if you say, oh my God, I'll just kill myself then you could get arrested for saying that, or 5150, because that seems to offend them. But protecting people isn't what protect and serve means. It means, it's like, the code of, them. It means don't break protocol. So if somebody's calling you up going, oh my God, my husband's beating me, can you arrest him? He's gonna kill me. Um, right, but there's a difference between freedom of speech and threats. If you're putting somebody in fear of their life, it shouldn't mean that you know, okay, so like say for instance, people saying that I was faking cancer and my GoFundMe was fraudulent is as bad as people saying Sandy Hooks was a hoax. Sorry, it is. I was no hoax, and neither was the people who lost their children. You know? Fuck him. He also had something to do with, the girl that died at Marilyn Manson's house, in my opinion, and the guy that went missing from Viper Room, and River Phoenix. Well, how would they even know if you can't play the fucking tape for them of them saying it? But anybody can say anything they want and make a police report and sign it under pains and penalties of perjury. And then when it's figured out to be a fucking lie, they don't have any pains and penalties of perjury. They don't have any pains and penalties of perjury. It's all a lie. There is no pains and penalties of perjury. Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I'm not even talking about Amber Heard anymore or Johnny Depp. I'm talking about no shit. Well, then I don't know how they were playing all those recordings then that you said she recorded. That would have had to be him then that was recording, right? So that doesn't even make sense. Then how were they playing what you said she recorded if she stole her phone from evidence? What did she record him with? Mm, yeah. She used a camera. So what does that even mean? I mean, I didn't see anything like that, but I did see him admitting that he said he was gonna to his friend Paul, let's kill, and you're not even mentioning that or looking it up. You don't even find it offensive. Oh God. You do know that people who get cancer don't want cancer, that they don't use the cancer card. You know that doesn't happen, right? And that women who get abused in domestic violence relationships, they don't have a victim mentality. Um, and no, she loved him, you know? Yeah. No, she loved him though. And he did make his partner from the Viper Room disappear 2 weeks before the trial. I mean, so far you've negated the fact that Ed Gein has two people that are confirmed on his list. And you're, like, no, I know, no. No, I don't get that. His partner of the Viper Room, he didn't die at the Viper Room. They never found, yeah, they never found him because he wasn't receiving his cut of the profits. So 2 weeks before the trial, he went missing and was never found again. I mean, you know, excuse me. There's a lot of misogyny going on um, in today's world where people blame the victims. Well, just research it, random. I can. Hi, Quick Vic. Well, I could, but it seems like you're the one talking about your point of view forever. I'm trying to move on to different topics. But I'm not asking that you agree with me, but you were like determined to tell me and know that Ed Gein killed more people than the two that were confirmed. But look it up. I mean, you could talk about that till you're blue in the face too. It is random. I'm just saying that you're overlooking that he said. Exactly, exactly. You know, you're overlooking anything to do with what he did to her. I'm not trying to fight. I'm just wondering why you're overlooking, like you're actually acting like if a guy beats you up, then don't bring a man into his house. I think that if a guy beats you up, he should be, you know, he should be facing repercussions for that, and the woman shouldn't have to be there, you know? That's her home too, so he can bring whoever he wants there. And anytime she's making a movie, I thought his brother was alive. I thought his brother was the one who told them that, he had a really sick, um, infatuation with the mother or something. I don't know. I think eventually, yeah, the brother did he? I mean, I don't know. Oh, when they burned the house down, you're saying. Wasn't that after though? I mean, I don't have my computer turned on, so I really can't like look it up right now. If somebody else has two devices and you can look it up right now, that'd be great. Welcome, Quick Vic. Do you have two devices? That'd be great. Well, of course, if you have, of course not. But what I'm saying is, if you had like a best friend that was a guy prior to getting married, are you gonna say, okay, well, my husband says I can't hang out with you anymore because I must be fucking you? You know what I mean? Like, even though you know that there was never anything physical like that. Like, would you even want to marry a guy that accuses you of fucking every man that you know? Oh, really? That's interesting. Did he have another brother? 1944. When did he? Oh, wow. Interesting. Interesting. See that? Huh. No, I was just hoping like you could look at but no, looked it up anyway. Wow, that's interesting. Did he have another brother? Because I thought there was one that was saying something about being concerned with the wow. Wow, isn't that something? I wonder if that's why he did it. Maybe he was saying did you really, Vic? I'm sorry about that. How did the father die? No. I wonder. I wonder if he did something to the father too. What about the mother? He might have done something to all of them. I mean, I really feel like, when you live in those, towns that are off the beaten path, you probably would come across some people who are broken down on the side of the road and stuff like that. Anything could be possible. I mean, just thinking about him violating people's loved ones by digging up their bodies. I mean, people pay a lot of money for a funeral. And not only that, this guy's making, and then that's horrible. Really? Now, what about the father? Was he around? Isn't that funny, quick, Vic? Because I see these a lot of people that we don't tell people where to go and this and that and this and that, but it does seem like a lot of people do tell people where they should go. Random, I hope you're not mad or anything. Uh, I wonder if the mother was an alcoholic too, because um, what year was it that he got caught? It's okay, quick. I knew what you meant. What her death, yeah. Thank you, quick, Vic. I appreciate that. I mean, the guy was literally skinning that woman from the hardware store, like as if she was a deer, like he shot her. I really think, if the mother had been an alcoholic too, a lot of these people could have been suffering from fetal alcohol syndrome. Um, I'll tell you, I feel so bad for Eileen Wuornos, and I'm gonna say it, Charles Manson. I feel like there's a lot of kids in life that neither one of them killed animals when they were little, either. Jeffrey Dahmer did, though. Ed Gein did. Ed Kemper did. Edmund Kemper did. I don't know if Ted Bundy did. Can you imagine? And he's buried in the same grave. Or not same grave, same cemetery. It has I mean, but look at this you know, look at this Adventures with Purpose guy now being accused of shit. New Year's, huh? A year after the brother, huh? Wow. But you know something? I bet you they didn't do autopsies then either. I bet you they didn't. I mean, what kind of thought process would be in somebody's head to fucking, be skinning people and shit like that? Look at the guy, that Mike Latunsky or Mark Latunsky, the one in fucking Michigan. Oh my God. Oh my God. And you know what'll happen is even in this Darren Brooks case, the families will fucking settle for a civil suit. And when did like somebody's life have a price on it? I mean, just like the Michael Jackson thing. I mean, what core of law? What core of law? Now, if you notice, only the women know that want to call for help from domestic abuse have to be forced, to go to court or be, because then, because the state takes over. You can't change your mind. But they don't arrest them right away. They keep them out. So, you know, just in case. you are going to show up, they can get rid of you. I mean, like, there's some people who feel, oh, well, I ain't going to jail, so, I'm not going to have this bitch being able to call and throw me in jail. Uh, but I can't even comprehend that with the arrest records of that Darren Brooks and with the two guys running away from that Mark Latunsky's house in Michigan, and the cops did nothing. And they said, well, the other guy, he didn't want to press charges. He was scared. And the other one just wanted to get back to fucking where he came from. He was just there for like a business meeting or something. And I'm thinking, like, so basically the court wants to press charges on domestic violence cases where they'll take it away, take the decision away from the woman to press charges. And actually make her feel scared. Like, if you don't show up and testify, you're in trouble, But when two men escape within a 60-day period, and the cops, I mean, are you kidding me? You mean that guy is being held on trial? I do believe he had some accomplices there. So did Jeffrey Dahmer when they took back Conarax and Zonfersone or whatever. I mean, are they for real? I'll tell you what, in a way, with Ted Bundy, I mean, I know that a lot of it he had said, whatever, from what they say, but here's the thing, and he admitted and stuff, but then again, so did fucking Henry Lee Lucas. I mean, this motherfucker was admitting to all these crimes that he didn't even do. And then when the one cop in Texas was like, you know what, this is bullshit. This guy's admitting to a bunch of crimes that he didn't do for a pack of cigarettes and a strawberry shake fucking every day. And all these cops are coming in from all these states acting like they've solved this case, they've solved that case, but they weren't, because Henry Lee Lucas didn't do it. He didn't know where it happened. I mean, he did kill some people, but not the ones he had killed. But so when that guy, the cop, wanted to say, "Hey, no, 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 no," they fucking harassed. They put him in jail. His own fucking place, his own state, his own county. They fucking gave him the walk of shame. Like, I mean, because they were fucked up. They were fucked up. I'll tell you, it'd be a cold day in hell before I would take money. Well, like, okay, earlier, random, when you said if somebody offered you $1 million to lie and say, no, this guy didn't do that to me. Your argument about, yeah, but Johnny Depp owned companies that employed loads of people. Well, yeah, but if Johnny Depp or somebody else, said person who gave you $1 million to lie and say they didn't do it, could be harming just as many people as a serial rapist or killer. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get, things in perspective and think, so you'd lie on the stand? I mean, that person, if they really had done a crime to you, you're allowing them to go on and, okay, random, and carry on doing that to the next person. So I'm just saying that to each their own. But the argument of how many people he employs doesn't really go anywhere with me when you said that you could be bought. Your integrity could be bought. Now, I'm not putting you down. I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying that it would be a. Oh, okay, random. All right, thank you. Thank you for clearing that up then. Because I mean, once somebody loses like an integrity kind of issue with me, then I'm kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, so it would be a cold day in hell before, like, I would accept a settlement, from, Michael Jackson or something, or someone rich that supposedly did something to my kid and let him go on and do it to the next person. I think those courts that allowed anything to be handled monetarily when it was a criminal act is disgusting. Disgusting. But a lot of people feel like that's their only option for any kind of justice because that's all they give them. Uh, I would be their worst fucking nightmare, though. I'm telling you, the schools wouldn't have even closed down for fucking COVID if my kid was still going to school. And there would have been no way in hell that if my kid was applying themselves towards school and everything, all not only because of the things that that's going to do to accelerate them and make them successful in life, but for the whole experience of you know getting your diploma, walking that, making that walk, and the graduation parties and all of that. And so all through school, you get great grades, and you think you're gonna fucking take that away from my kid, and then you're gonna carry on after it's so gone, and continue with the whole computerized, schooling, so that the usefulness of human beings can be null and void. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I've never dealt with so many companies in my life until as of the last couple of years that provide services but don't have a phone number to make a complaint. How fucking stupid is that shit? I actually watched a fucking thing where they're talking about the $9 trillion going missing from the fuck. I mean, and I was like, what? And oh, it's still just gone. That was 5 years ago, but it was only noticed then. They're still fucking voting on having transparency for something. Like, what? Are you kidding? Half this shit, when I started doing researching, man, I get through a couple of it. And even now, thinking about that, even the first ballot question in Louisiana for this past midterms, my stomach got sick. And I'm like, is this a fucking joke right now? There's, what did they call it? Something dysmorphia. I can't think of the first word of it. Something dysmorphia now, where people are going and getting plastic surgery. Young kids. I know. Or if it wasn't even you. How fucking dare they? How fucking dare they expect people to have to take on another bill like the internet? Or get your ass to the library and use one there. Hopefully they'll be open. Yeah, where they're getting especially the younger generation, plastic surgery to look like they're filtered. How easy then for AI to fucking start taking? Is that a I mean, are they kidding? Unbelievable. I think it's disgusting that I'm even to the point where half the time when I'm listening to somebody talking now, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm not sure, you know? I mean, this shit's sick. And a lot of the people that work for these tech companies, you know, quit because of ethical concerns, but it didn't get any better. It's just worse because it's overwhelming. Makes you sick. Makes you sick. It's overwhelming. Disgusting. There's no way all those women should have been allowed to fucking scream Johnny Depp's name outside of that courthouse. And he should have, and that attorney should have been able to grandstand like that. There's no way Darren Brooks, who was arrested for felony bail jumping, should have been let out on $1,000 bail, only to carry on with his disrespect for the law because he never got any law given to him. The law was never handed down to him. He just kept pushing the envelope, getting away with it. And that is why people and things are the way they are today. And too many people are being like, you know, they want to go through, they want to go up the escalator. They don't want to climb the stairs. Some of them just want to get on the fucking elevator. They'll wait. Bottom line is I don't care how many people are doing the wrong thing and how little people are doing the right thing. You'll always find me. I'm not saying I'm right, but you'll never see me ever, ever harassing somebody with cancer or harassing anyone at all. As if these people to say silly shit like Ollie goes, SG said she's gonna spit at people, so the back chatter sounds like it. When have I ever fucking said I was gonna spit at people? Shut the fuck up, lady. You fucking whack job since day one. Leave me alone. Don't speak on me. Jules, it's been in my head. You tell me, because I know you blatantly ignored me last night when I was talking to you. So I'm going to need to know before you're given any acknowledgement further from me. Were you harassed from the moment you donated to my GoFundMe in your real name, and are Ollie and Tiffany behind that? Two fucking whack jobs that are buddies now. Oh, you've been harassing me. Oh, and the only reason why Chosen One Community would even know the name of said bicycle person. And so when referring to chosen one community, make sure that you state that that is chosen one community, the channel, and not the whole community. Because when this severance person came in here, it happened to be when I had used the Johnny Carson theme song and thought they were making a reference to Doc Severinsen. So as soon as they said something like that, they were blocked and gone. Okay, and I ended the stream. So don't keep blanket statement. Don't even compare me to the ridiculous, disgusting behavior that I have been subject to and been witness to, but I will not partake in. Remove me out of the equation. I'm not like these people. I'm an adult, and a lot of people aren't like them. So, yeah, no. And chosen one community wouldn't have even known that if it wasn't for your a good friend, 80. Correct? 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 Is that not where that name came from originally? Correct. Oh, and then you go reaching out to his family. You're fucking something, man. You are something. You and her are probably, I don't even know. Leave me out of the equation. Katie's never done nothing to me. In fact, she's been nice to me, but behind my back, I've seen her say some shit. But that's okay. I can handle it. I'm all right with it. I just don't want to be. And in fact, Jules, I really, at this point, if you couldn't come out and say that and defend me as a friend and say they started harassing you when you gave to my GoFundMe, I don't care if that happened. So you don't have to respond. I just want to wash my hands of the most disgusting behavior during one of the most scariest times of my life. And that is not my dog barking at me. He's barking at the cat. So go fuck yourselves, people who go, they say the dumbest shit, and they allow people to sit there in their live streams typing out that I hoard my own shit. It's gone on for years. And save my own urine in jars. What kind of walnut-sized mind would even entertain pathetic behavior such as that? Not mine, and not anybody I care to know. So I've enjoyed this chat tonight. I'm sorry if I come off harsh sometimes, but I don't think they understand the difference between us and them is adult and infantile. The shit they do is ridiculous and pathetic and done behind computers from across states and across oceans. That's how pathetic. Leave me out of that behavior. I am who I am, and I know who I am, and I'm quite happy with myself. United we stand, divided we fall. Steel sharpens steel, and peace, love, and tacos.